Okay guys, this was never meant to be a video, but recently I purchased a Kriss Vector gas blowback rifle from KWA, which is a super rare gun. And unfortunately, when I received the package, it came with a broken stock. Doesn't look like it anymore because I actually took the effort and spent like 5 days, 5 nights on fixing it, because this gun is worth taking the effort, and I wanted to revive it from the GBBR hell, which is broken stock. Sometimes this can happen when you fall on the gun. Happened to me with the Scar. Also repaired it. So yeah, and like I said, I didn't meant to publish a video on how I'm repairing a gun, but I was sharing it on my Instagram stories, and a guy wrote me, "Hey man, this is great. How can you make a video? You know, maybe I will need it one day." And I was like, yeah, maybe there is people who would need, I don't know, advice or tips on just how to repair a stock. So I decided to make this quick little video, because luckily I was making videos on my phone, basically just for myself, to document how I did it, because I want to remember, because this is like my little baby, right now. So I wanted to know how I fixed it. So I made videos, not the best quality, definitely not, but it's something, maybe it will help you. So yeah, let's start at the beginning. So there we go, package. I don't know what this is, but whatever. So let's open it. Looks a bit weird. And of course, it's cracked because it's not packed well. Great. Yeah. Okay, this was glued because it was damaged already. Yeah, here it's also damaged. Oh man. Okay, so you saw the beginning. This is a picture of the stock, right here. It was kind of soft material. I don't know, whatever the guy put there. So I started to use, I don't know, knives, drill bits, whatever I really had, to kind of just dig it out. It took like 2 or 3, I don't know how many hours, but eventually I got it out and it looked like this. I also took off the paint, which was really pain in the ass to take off. I tried to soak it in alcohol, I tried to, I don't know, sandpaper, and eventually I ended up taking a brush with steel wires and I just scraped it off, the paint, and I was planning on painting it again. So this is how it looked. It is almost off, and then this is the piece that was missing right there. It's a considerable part of the stock. I mean, somebody just fell on it, and yeah, this is what it is. So I had to kind of fill this. Anyways, you will see later. Let's grab this as well. After consulting with my colleague Ian, I decided to mill a plate right here. You need a mill for this, you need a machine. It is what it is. Ask a friend. I don't know, this is how I did it. I know it's hard, but luckily we have it at the office and I could just use it. So I took an aluminium pipe and I just milled this, which actually allows you to lock it with this pin right here, and it also locks in place with this button. So this button catches right here in this part. Here goes the pin, and I had to remove even more material from the stock. So I basically milled away like half of the stock right here, and I made the slot inside of the stock to fit it in there. You will also see it in the video. Here we can see that I also put screws in there into the back piece, because there is actually a wall in front of the trigger system, safety system actually. There is a wall, so I put 2 screws in there right here, so that the epoxy that I will be using later, it is, by the way, this epoxy that I used, so that this epoxy has something to grab on and it's attached to the gun itself. Because, you know, if you put epoxy on a flat surface, it will probably not hold very well. So I put 2 screws right there. I drilled 2mm hole for that. And here we can also see the plate. Here also you can see the screws. There is 1 more screw on the bottom, so total of 3 screws in the back and 1 screw from the bottom. And here we can see the plate, how it catches. This took me 1 night. This was ridiculous, but it is what it is. Here 1 more screw from the top, again, so that the epoxy has something to grab on. And I also decided to pin it from the top, so it goes through the top right here, through the rail, through this plate, through this plastic as well on the top. It basically goes all the way from here to the bottom, right into this plastic piece. So it's pinned through the bottom, 3 screws to the back, and 1 screw through the metal plate for the epoxy. And yeah, this is after the first epoxy. So let's continue with the video. So here we can see the stock on the Vector. I milled a plate and it still latches onto this, so that's good. And it's all the way here, but it's under a tape because I'm ready to epoxy this thing in place. 2 screws right here, you know, so that the epoxy has something to grab on. And also 1 screw here, which goes through the bottom again, so that the epoxy has more to grab on. And right here through the top, I'm gonna put a pin all the way through into this plastic piece, through this aluminum piece that I milled. You can see the hole right there next to the screw right here. And yeah, I hope it will work. I already have tape around it because I'm ready to put epoxy in it. I have high hopes. It's looking decent. Okay, epoxy is in there. It's completely filled with epoxy, and here we can see the pin right on the top that goes all the way to the bottom somewhere here. Curious to see in the morning what's it gonna be. By the way, don't mind the sides. This is there just to make space. Okay, it's the next morning and it's rock solid. It's already rock solid. Let's take a look together. So this is how it looks. The epoxy is in there. There is still a hole right here because it just, you know, it's liquid, so it just went down, and there is still 1 more. So I'm gonna put more epoxy in there. And yeah, other than that, you can see there is a little bit of overspill, but it's not too bad. This can be cleaned with a Dremel or something. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the result. I wasn't expecting anything better than this. It's nice. It's already quite rock solid. And I mean, look at it. Isn't that beautiful? And the best part is, I have 4 magazines right there. Guess what's coming? Okay, second session of epoxy, actually the third. And now everything is filled nicely. Here I added some other epoxy. It's like this thing right here, and which is actually harder than the other epoxy. But anyways, now I guess it's a Dremel time and then paint job time. But this is how it looks. I'm pretty happy with the result so far. Okay, after the Dremel work that we can see here, I used the 320 grit sandpaper, quite a lot of that. Took me 2 hours, maybe even more. I took the surface of the whole stock, of the epoxy, the residues, you know, the fine job, and then I took this spray paint, which is meant for, I don't know, military use. It's the Fosco. It's the one we have at the office. It's the one that you can find on the Norwich website, but there is a different ones as well. And yeah, I just put 2 or 3 layers. I don't know, depending where it needed to be. I used about 3 layers. Really, from a distance, I was spraying from like this much of a distance to just, you know, put fine dust on it to make it look as good as possible, because I was not in a hurry. Just don't go too close, because then it will start like dripping. It won't look nice. I used 2 or 3 layers, and yeah, then we will see the result. Actually, I just realized that I don't have to use the video that I made before, because this is the final result. As you can see, it looks pretty well and it's very solid. I'm not too worried about it cracking again, because the pin, the screws, the epoxy, it is very, very solid. I'm very confident that I can play with this gun. This is the final result. So yeah, Kriss Vector saved from the airsoft hell of broken stocks. It is obviously not foldable anymore. I don't mind that, because I don't fold my guns anyways. If I put them in a backpack, yeah, it's nice, but I don't really mind. I bought this, I want to play with it, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. So if you are interested in gameplay, let me know. Also, I'm pretty sure this video will get demonetized and really pushed down by YouTube, because it is showing modifications to the gun. It is an airsoft gun, but you know, it's YouTube. So if you like this, if it helped you, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, I don't know, just leave a comment if you like these kind of things. Yeah, that's it for this video. Shall we shoot it a little bit? No BBs. Let's hold the ping pong button. Burst. That's the unique thing about this thing. Okay, I'm not using full auto, so I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. That's it, guys. See you in the next one.